Hey guys, I'm gonna be talking about something. I'm gonna be talking about how Tumblr needs to start removing what they ended up having to to put in place, but they really need to start changing their ways in order to like get back in the very social media conversation, and just going back on what they put in place with the way things have been because of the whole organizations or an organized group of mothers, like a mom and pop organized group of protesters had told them to just put in place. When it comes to the NSFW content, a lot of people walked away from the platform because of that level of censorship. And those who white knight to get all NSFW content removed from the platform, which really killed the legitimacy of its apparent inquiries of being a legitimate social platform. Not everyone wanted their NSFW content to be taken down. That displaced a lot of online sex workers and those who were a part of a particular NSFW fandom type of thing or whatever, to make light of the whole situation, in which case a lot of people left Tumblr. And Tumblr doesn't even quite understand why. And then they wonder why that so many users have jumped ship. But they knew if they were to follow through with that, a lot of people were not happy about that when they went through with what they were forced by the mom and pop protest groups that have demanded that they ban all NSFW content. And they've been hemorrhaging users, they've been hemorrhaging followers, they've been hemorrhaging money. And let's not forget, they hemorrhaged a lot of money due to it being traded off. And hey, when you trade off so many times to so many like investment groups, a lot of money gets lost, and the very money that Tumblr was making in its prime, a lot of people flocked to that platform. And let's not forget the blogs, the art. It was just another blogging and art platform. And it was a platform to make money on. Basically, Tumblr was like was like a mixture of like Facebook, DeviantArt, and OnlyFans. And community-based shared interests, if you will. But we all know how that wound up going and becoming the very backbone, the very juggernaut of what made Tumblr what it was. Tumblr just had to start shit. They just had to start problems. Then feminists got onto the platform. Then they started letting any old motherfucker on the platform. Then there was the LGBTQ community. Or should I say, the alphabet mafia started setting up shop, posting their nonsensical garbage on the platform, building up a community and whatever. But when there was this whole purging of adult content on Tumblr, Tumblr lost a metric fuckload of users when a lot of people who were pro NSFW content type of community wound up being like, oh shit, maybe if we just like go through with this, we're gonna lose a lot of our user base. And look at what happened now. They're still they look what happened between what happened in Tumblr's prime all the way up until now. Like in between prime era Tumblr and 2026 era Tumblr. And there was the pro censorship or anti-NSFW era, which that was right there in the middle between prime era Tumblr and 2026 era Tumblr. And that second era killed off all user traffic and momentum for the platform. And people wonder why. People who work at Tumblr wonder why no video game parodies Tumblr, because Tumblr would have been able to be parodied, just like Facebook and Snapchat and X Corp. Basically, Tumblr was going through all kinds of eras, short-lived eras, in between the main eras, the Prime era and the anti-NSFW era, and the 2026 era of Tumblr. But hey, Tumblr had its good run with content. And when they wound up like banning NSFW content, like for the longest time they had an issue with NSFW content being posted on there. But since how these mom and pop protest groups have probably disbanded because their kids are all grown, and the kids or the SFWCP content that had been removed, but they had to like track down the very like accounts and very profiles, like with those kinds of content and those kinds of profiles. They had to they should have had to sift through it and get that kind of content off of the platform. But not all NSFW content was all about children. A lot of grown-ass adult sex workers were yeeted off the platform for no good reason. And those who posted NSFW content also left. And Tumblr was seeing how the NSFW, or in what we call the gooner user base, as it's been called these days, those who are gooners left the platform, and that's what killed its relevancy. And they saw that answering to mom and pop protest organizations wound up being a detriment to their bottom line. And with that being said, they were fading into obscurity, just like MySpace has faded into obscurity. And guess fucking what? X Corp has been getting massive traction. It's one of the biggest platforms on the face of this fucking earth at this point in time. X is the biggest platform on this earth. Also, those Pearl Clutch and Puritans on DeviantArt are probably not on there no more. And they're, well, according to me and according to what I find as a big platform for numerous kinds of content, X, Reddit, DeviantArt, Instagram. Threads is not even on that list. Facebook would have been on that list of highly viable platforms if that douchey little Marky boy would sell Facebook to Elon Musk. Shit. The original CEO of X, formerly known as Twitter, sold Twitter to Elon Musk. And guess fucking what? The NSFW filter shows up automatically over NSFW content. And guess what? If you want to see that kind of shit, all you have to do is use your finger, tap, click, and it'll show the NSFW content. And the filter is instantly removed until next time that you want to see it again. And guess what? The NSFW content has not been taken down off of X Corp, because Elon Musk isn't about censoring the users and their desires to post artistic content of that variety on there. Because why? Elon Musk is not a fucking weenie like Mark Zuckerberg is. Mark Zuckerberg was an antisocial weenie to begin with. And guess what? The net worth of Elon Musk is that which is higher than that of the very loser and the very weenie himself and the pearl-clutching Puritan himself and the cause of the data mining and illegally selling data type of prudish weenie himself, Mark Zuckerberg, our stupid little Marky boy, the pearl-clutching antisocial freak of nature, wound up having a problem. But if somebody like Elon Musk was to buy Twitter's very own antisocial brother known as Facebook, a lot of things would change. But I'll get into that one in the next video. But Facebook is not the primary topic for this video. But yet, the confused and scared little sister of Facebook and X Corp known as Tumblr has been losing a lot of like momentum and relevance, all because they had to listen to a mom and pop protest organization and numerous mothers and numerous fathers that were pearl clutching Puritans harassed the moderation team and harassed the CEO of Tumblr to remove all NSFW content off the platform or flag it as inappropriate content. But hey, that's just the cost of constantly listening to idiots like those pearl clutchers that want to pearl clutch over NSFW content. And yeah, I was a victim myself of this unnecessary censorship bullshit. Unnecessary censorship bullshit. And I'm just saying, if you don't want to fall into obscurity as a platform, you gotta do whatever it takes to stave that future off by any means necessary. But here's the thing: if they stave off that future, there might be some hope for the platform to survive and to make money and to thrive again. Just years later, disregard, downplay, blow off, and be like, puh, 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 to the mom and pop protest groups, like, puh, 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 to them, because they see what's happening to their bottom dollar and their bottom line. Too many people have walked away from Tumblr because of that. And they lost a massive chunk of users and relevance. And I'm just saying, it's best to not to piss off your user base by banning the content that is bringing prestige to the platform. But there might be some glimpses of a chance for them to go back on listening to those mom and pop protest organizations or groups, and to downplay and just ignore them and just tell them to go fuck themselves. And that if those mom and pop protest organizations and protest groups really realized what damage that they've done to a platform as such, they wouldn't have done what they did. They wouldn't have constantly hounded. They wouldn't have constantly hounded Tumblr to remove all NSFW content off the platform and driving away its user base based on them taking in the very, very, very unwanted, if you will, unwanted advice and feedback that hurt their bottom line in the long run. But hey, That's just the way of the world in the cyber world. One measly little types of things or whatever that of that sort that leads it to happen, and then blam, a lot of people walk away from the platform. And yeah, a lot of people really didn't like what what Tumblr was doing. Follow me here. This is how things are. And if you're anything like me, you know when a platform is on death's door, it's on death's door. Maybe something in the platform's way of handling things, or they're just listening to out of touch morons that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, end up thinking they deserve to get a say in how the platform is being run because they don't know a damn thing about how to run a platform, so they just want to tell the platform how to conduct itself. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because you are hurting the bottom line of the platform. Yet, in Facebook's case, they hurt their own bottom line. But that's just another topic for another video that I'll get into later at some point in time. But other than that, I'm just saying, Tumblr could have listened to the users and the community feedback of this transgression against their rights to make whatever art that they wanted to make and post on their page. Needless to say, when you listen to mom and pop shop based protest organizations or groups, you lose a lot of traffic to your platform. That's just the way of the world, and how the way of the world works. When you go against what people want for the platform and from the platform, you're more likely to get like a lot of people not liking your bullshit anyways. I'm just saying, because I've had a history of like being flagged on that platform for said content and got banned off that platform. But now, with the whole COPPA thing, like a lot of like shit with YouTube pushing for that kind of thing, either for kids or not for kids, I guarantee a motherfucking T that back in the prime days, in the very beginning of the birth of YouTube, YouTube did not have that. YouTube did not have that. But with the whole COPPA thing, YouTube had to push for the either for kids or not for kids audience choice. It intended to pretty much lean towards, like, there was supposed to be a mixed audience choice, but that was scrapped for the either for kids or not for kids type of thing. And there's already YouTube Kids app for kids, while main YouTube is not for kids. But the FTC, they just ignored that whole thing in the existence of YouTube Kids app. But Tumblr was not for kids to begin with. But hey, Tumblr should know enough not to kill all of the respect of its user base because of some pearl-clutching Puritans telling them how to run their platform and how to treat their users. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and share the videos. Gotta get those likes up, gotta get those subscribe numbers up, and get the views up. And let me know in the comments section if you agree with all that I have said in this video. See you later, guys.